Now I'm going to show you how to place a compass circle here in the middle of the driveway. Now those are objects, so you go to the object library. We'll go to compass circles, and what you do is scroll through until you find the color that you would like. We'll just try this one here, so we double click it to bring it up on the screen. If the library does not go away when you double click something, click on library, shrink after use. That will make the library minimize after you bring something up. And now we'll close this, so we'll size it down a little bit. And what we want to do to make this look like it's laying down on the driveway is to use the warp tool. So we'll go up here to the warp tool. Now the warp tool's default is free, and you can do it with free, but let me show you the difference here. So if I have free set and I click on this handle and I bring it down, you see how it's distorting until I kind of get it into shape here. So it's just a couple more moves, whereas we'll click reset. If I would have hit horizontal and I bring down this one handle, the handle across from it moves with it. So it's just a little bit faster to get it in the ballpark. Then what you'll do is click on free and then adjust it the way you want it. And pretty much that looks pretty good to me. So now I have the compass circle in the driveway. Then we'll click the OK on the warp tool to exit that. Now once you have an object set with the warp tool, if I go back up here to the compass circles and I want to try out different colors, I could simply click and drag a color onto the object that's there, and as you can see, it automatically sizes it, it automatically warps it, and it replaces the one that's there. So you're able to just click and drag different colors on the original to try out different looks. That one's not too bad. Now in reality I don't really want to put this there, but I want to show you how it is done. So let's remove it by pressing the delete key on the keyboard, and I want to show you how to use the fill wand tool. Now the fill wand tool works best when you bring up objects that have no color on them. I'm going to bring up the miscellaneous templates. I'll double click this one to bring it to the screen, and as you can see, it's basically one solid color. It doesn't matter if it's black or white or green or purple, as long as it's just one color. So now to change the colors on this, what we'll do is we'll go up here to the fill wand tool, and we're going to use this library called Century Textures. When I click from library, it brings up the different colors available. What I'm going to do is say click on the charcoal here and click on one of these areas here, and as you can see, it's filled in with that charcoal color. I'm going to hit undo. Now if you want a little more texture in here, I'm going to take this slider and slide it to the left, makes the texture smaller, and then fill in this one here, and as you can see, there's a little more noise, a little more texture in that particular fill. So because this is the effect I'm looking for, I'm going to click undo again and undo all of them, and then just click back in these and fill it with that charcoal color. Now I want a different color. I click on from library. I'm going to pick this monsoon color, and I'll fill these in. Again, I forgot to size it down, so we'll size it down, and let's do one more color, and we'll fill out, this time I'm going to size it down first and fill in these here. So now that I've filled it in, I click OK to exit the fill wand menu, and now I can lay this down on the driveway. Now before I do that, I might want to save this as an object to add it to my library with this color variation on it. So to do that, make sure it's selected by clicking on it, then go File, Export Object, and we're going to give it a name. I'm just going to call it Fill Wand Test, and I'll save that. And now I'm going to warp it by going up here to the warp tool and lay it down on the driveway. Now I can see that the colors I've used, this one here, this light gray, does not really show up well, so I would go back and redo it. But that's really not the point here. The point is to show you how you can change the colors and fill them. So I'm going to delete that, and now I want to save the one that I colorized into my library. So I'm going to go back up here to library, miscellaneous templates, and I want to put it in here as the first one. So I'll go to add items, and I saved it as Fill One Test. I'll double click it, and as you can see, it's now placed in my library. So I'm going to save that library. Now it's saved in my library. It will always be in there with that coloration. If I double click it, you see it brings it up on the screen.